Good morning, everyone. Life is tough. It's messy. It's unfair. And sometimes it feels like the whole world is against you. You're tired. You're struggling. You're doing your best, but still, you're falling behind. And in those moments, you look around, hoping someone will understand, someone will help, someone will care. But the brutal truth is, nobody cares. Not like you think they do. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. In fact, it's your greatest strength, because it means your success is entirely in your hands. Life doesn't reward excuses. No matter how valid, how painful, how understandable they may be, the reality is that excuses never produce results. You can talk about how hard things have been, how unfair life has treated you, how little support you've had, but none of that changes where you are. The truth is simple and brutal. The world doesn't stop because you're struggling. It keeps moving. It keeps demanding. It keeps rewarding only those who move forward despite everything. Excuses might gain you a moment of sympathy, but they won't move you an inch closer to your dream. When things go wrong, it's easy to fall into the trap of justifying your lack of progress. It's easy to blame your environment, your upbringing, your circumstances, or the people who let you down. And yes, those things may be real. Maybe life hasn't been fair to you. Maybe others have had it easier. But if you let that become your story, your identity, you'll never break free. You'll stay stuck, constantly explaining why you're not where you want to be, instead of actually doing what it takes to get there. People will listen to your excuses for a short while. Friends might offer comfort. Family might try to support you. But deep down, everyone knows that success doesn't come from explanation. It comes from execution. Life rewards those who act, not those who rationalize. The person who shows up every day, who works in silence, who doesn't need a pat on the back for every effort, that's the one who grows. That's the one who builds something real. That's the one who rises above circumstances. Excuses are comforting. They allow you to protect your pride. They let you feel like it's not your fault. But that comfort is poison. It keeps you from growing. It keeps you from changing. It keeps you from doing the hard, necessary things. Every time you say, I can't, because you're reinforcing limits that may not even be real. You're building walls in your own mind. And those walls will become your prison if you don't tear them down. The people who win in life are the ones who stop waiting for the world to be fair. They stop expecting someone to save them. They stop needing everything to be perfect before they begin. Instead, they start where they are. They use what they have. They keep pushing even when the odds are against them, because they understand a truth that many people run from. Life doesn't care about your reasons. It only responds to your results. Think about the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most respected leaders. Do you think they had no excuses? Do you think they never faced struggle or fear or pain? Of course they did. But they didn't let those things define them. They didn't let their emotions, their obstacles, or their pasts dictate their future. They made a decision to do the work anyway, to fight anyway, to believe in their ability to rise even when no one else did. You have that same power. You have that same choice. Every time you're tempted to make an excuse, you can choose effort instead. You can choose progress. You can say, this may be hard, this may be unfair, but I'm doing it anyway. That mindset changes everything. It turns victims into victors. It turns struggle into strength. It turns the impossible into the unstoppable. The world is filled with talented people who never went anywhere because they always had a reason not to. And it's also filled with average people who outworked everyone because they refused to let their excuses control them. The difference between the two isn't intelligence or background or luck. It's the mindset. The belief that even when life gives you every reason to quit, you still have a reason to go on. Your future. Stop explaining. Stop waiting. Stop hoping someone else will make it easier. It won't happen. And the moment you truly understand that is the moment you take real control of your life. When you stop telling your story of limitation and start writing a story of resilience, that's when the shift happens. That's when power replaces pity. That's when purpose replaces pain. If you want to be something great, it starts now. Not when things get better. Not when you feel ready. Now. With your flaws, with your fears, with your failures, you have everything you need already inside you. You just have to silence the voice that says, I can't, and replace it with the fire that says, watch me. The world may not reward your excuses, but it will absolutely notice your results. The late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the effort when no one is watching, it all adds up. And one day, When you've built something remarkable out of what looked like nothing, people will ask how you did it. They'll admire your strength, but only you will know the truth. You stopped making excuses, and you worked harder. Let that be your story. Not one of pain and pity, but one of power. Let others talk about why they couldn't. You prove why you could. Let others wait for the world to care. You go out and earn the life you deserve. Because in the end, excuses are heavy chains that hold you down, but discipline, work ethic, and relentless focus, they're wings. And when you finally choose to let go of everything that's holding you back, you'll find you can rise farther than you ever thought possible. Not because it was easy, but because you were strong enough to keep going when no one else did. Pain is a powerful force. It can either break you or build you. The difference lies in how you respond to it. Most people fear pain. They run from it, avoid it, or drown in self-pity when it strikes. But those who truly grow in life see pain differently. Not as a curse, but as a teacher. Not as a wall, but as fuel. They understand that pain is not the enemy. Comfort is. Because comfort keeps you where you are, but pain pushes you forward. When you hurt, when you're down, when everything feels like it's crashing, that's when you're being shaped. That's when you're being tested. And that test is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to reveal you, to strip away the weakness, the excuses, the laziness, and leave behind someone stronger, someone more focused, someone more determined than ever before. Every time you feel like giving up, every time it hurts to keep going, that's the moment where growth is happening. You just don't see it yet. Pain is like a fire. It burns, yes, but it also purifies. It burns away the lies you tell yourself, the fake confidence, the empty talk, and it leaves behind something real: discipline, grit, and character. Some people let pain shut them down. They use it as a reason to quit. It's too hard, they say. It's not fair, they cry. But the truth is, everyone faces pain. Everyone gets knocked down. The only difference between those who win and those who don't is this: the winners get back up. They feel the pain and keep moving. They take the hit and still press forward. They cry if they must, but they don't stop. Think about the times in your life when you grew the most. Chances are, it wasn't during the easy days. It wasn't when everything was going your way. It was during the dark seasons, the lonely nights, the setbacks and heartbreaks. That's when you learned what you were made of. That's when you discovered how much strength was buried inside you. Pain opened the door to your potential, and yet we still fear it. We still complain about it. We still act surprised when it comes. But pain is part of the process. It's not optional. It's the price you pay for progress. No one climbs to the top of anything without struggle. No one becomes great without suffering. Every champion has a scar. Every warrior has a wound. But those marks are not signs of weakness. They are badges of honor. They say, I've been through hell, but I'm still standing. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you have to stop avoiding pain. You have to stop wishing for an easier path. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to lean into the pain, face it head on, and say, this is where I grow. Because pain will either be your prison or your path, and you get to choose which one. The world doesn't care how much you're hurting. Life doesn't slow down because you're tired or broken. But that's okay. You don't need pity. You need purpose. You need to decide that your dreams are worth the pain it takes to get them. That your future matters more than your comfort. That your goals are stronger than your fears. When you shift your mindset, when you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Everything changes. Pain becomes your partner. Failure becomes feedback. Struggle becomes strategy. Every painful moment becomes a stepping stone toward the life you want to build. The gym hurts, but it makes you stronger. The discipline to wake up early is uncomfortable, but it gives you an edge. The effort to keep going when you're exhausted is painful, but it separates the winners from the quitters. That's what pain does. It separates, it reveals, it shows who wants it badly enough. And if you're the one who pushes through, who doesn't back down, who embraces the pain instead of running from it, you will rise. The grind is not glamorous. It's ugly, it's tough, it's lonely. There will be days when no one claps for you. No one notices, no one cares. And still you have to get up and do the work. Not because someone is watching, not because someone is cheering, but because your vision demands it, because your purpose is louder than your pain. Remember, diamonds are made under pressure. Muscles grow when they're torn. Trees grow deeper roots when the wind hits them hard. You are no different. Every pain you face has the potential to strengthen you, to refine you, to prepare you for what's next. But only if you don't run, only if you don't quit. So the next time life hits you, don't ask for it to be easier, ask to be stronger. Don't beg for the pain to go away. Learn what it's trying to teach you. Don't shrink under the weight of it. Stand tall, even if your knees are shaking, because on the other side of that pain is the person you're meant to become. This journey is not for the weak, but you're not weak. You've already survived so much. You've already come this far. You didn't come here to stop. You didn't come this far to give up when it gets hard. You came here to transform. You came here to rise. So when it hurts, when it burns, when every part of you is screaming to stop, keep going. Let that pain be the fire that drives you. Let it mold you, shape you, fuel you. Because pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new level, a new strength, a new you. Pain is fuel, not a barrier. And when you learn how to use it, there's nothing you can't overcome. No one owes you anything. That's one of the hardest truths in life, but also one of the most freeing. The sooner you accept that nobody is obligated to support you, believe in you, help you, or understand your journey, the faster you will rise. We grow up being told to expect fairness, recognition, and encouragement, but the real world doesn't operate like that. The world is indifferent. It rewards value, not effort alone. It respects results, not complaints. And if you want to win, you have to stop waiting for someone to hand you a break and start creating your own. You could spend your entire life waiting for someone to believe in you, for someone to open a door, for someone to invest in your dream. You could keep hoping that your situation will change because someone finally notices how hard you've worked. But that waiting game is deadly. It puts your destiny in the hands of others. It gives away your power. The truth is, the world doesn't care about your potential unless you show proof of it. And that proof only comes through effort, consistency, and action. People often say, I would be successful if I just had someone to guide me, if I had more support, if I had better circumstances. But success has never been about what you're given. It's about what you do with what you have. You could have nothing but still rise if you're hungry enough. And you could have everything and still lose if you rely on others to carry you. What makes the difference is ownership, owning your path, your pain, your responsibility. No one else can do it for you. You are responsible for your life. That may sound overwhelming, but it's actually empowering. Because if you are responsible, it means you are also capable. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't need validation. You don't need the world to agree with you. You just need to commit, to put your head down and work, to keep going even when no one is clapping, to be your own fuel when there's no applause. There will be times when you look around and feel like you're completely alone, when your efforts go unnoticed, when your sacrifices are ignored, when your dreams seem invisible to the world. But in those moments, you must remind yourself that external support is a bonus, not a requirement. The real drive has to come from within, because you can't control whether people believe in you, but you can control how hard you work. You can control how you respond to setbacks. You can control how much fire you bring every single day. When you understand that no one owes you anything, you stop feeling entitled. You stop complaining when things don't go your way. Instead, you adapt, you hustle, you learn, you grow, you become resourceful. You find a way when there is no way. And that's where true strength is born, not in comfort, but in adversity, not in gifts, but in grit. There is a special kind of power that comes from being self-made, from knowing that everything you've built came from your own hands, your own discipline, your own refusal to quit. When no one else clapped, you kept going. When no one else believed, you didn't stop. When no one else showed up, you still did. That kind of journey carves something unshakable in you. Confidence, resilience, a level of determination that no outside validation can match. You'll meet people along the way who won't believe in you. That's fine. You'll meet people who will doubt your dreams. That's normal. You'll meet people who may even try to bring you down. That's expected. But none of that matters if you don't let it stop you. What matters is that you never stop believing in yourself, no matter how quiet the world gets. You have to become your own motivation, your own cheerleader, your own supporter. Because the dream is yours, not theirs. The vision belongs to you, not them. And the work must come from you, not anyone else. When you take full ownership of that, you unlock the most powerful force in existence, self-reliance. There's no one coming to save you. No magical opportunity is going to appear out of thin air. If you want it, you have to create it. You have to build it brick by brick, failure by failure, step by step. And yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to feel unfair at times. Yes, you'll feel like giving up. But that's the price. That's what it costs to live a life that most people will never have. Most people settle because they're waiting for something to happen. But the winners, the legends, the ones who rise, they don't wait. They act. They move forward even when they're scared, even when they're alone, even when everything is against them, and eventually they create a life that no one can deny. Don't look outside yourself for strength. Don't waste your energy hoping the world will see your worth. Show it, prove it, build it. You owe it to yourself to give this life everything you've got. No one owes you that chance, but you owe yourself that effort. You don't need handouts. You don't need approval. You don't need the world to believe in you. You need grit. You need heart. You need a relentless desire to win, despite the silence, despite the rejection, despite the odds, because in the end, success belongs to those who take full responsibility for their lives and never stop moving forward. No one owes you anything, and that's your greatest advantage, because once you understand that, there are no more excuses, only action, only focus, only growth, and with that mindset, there's nothing that can stop you. You won't always feel like it. There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels like a war. Days when your energy is drained, your motivation is gone, and your mind is clouded with doubt, fear, or fatigue. You'll be tempted to skip the work, delay the task, or just quit altogether. But this is where most people fail. They rely on how they feel. They wait for the perfect mood, the right timing, or a burst of inspiration. And when it doesn't come, they do nothing. But the truth is, progress isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do, consistently. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is doing it even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what separates the average from the exceptional. Motivation may spark the fire, but it won't keep it burning. It's unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, however, is solid. It's a decision. It's a muscle. It's a choice you make every single day, whether the mood is there or not. The most successful people in the world aren't always the most talented. They're the most disciplined. They do the work when no one's watching. They show up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's painful. That's how greatness is built, not in the moments of excitement, but in the grind of repetition. Think about athletes who train day in and day out, even when their bodies ache. Think about entrepreneurs who work long hours, even when they're tired and uncertain. Think about writers, artists, creators, anyone who produces anything meaningful. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create their own momentum, because they know that consistency compounds. What you do every day matters far more than what you do occasionally. One day of feeling inspired won't change your life, but 6 months of relentless discipline will. There will be days when your mind will try to talk you out of it. It will tell you that you can skip this one time, that you'll do it tomorrow, that you've done enough already. And those are the exact moments where winners are made. Because discipline means pushing through the resistance. It means not giving in to the voice that wants comfort. It means keeping your promise to yourself even when nobody would blame you for breaking it. Every time you choose discipline over feelings, you build trust with yourself. You build confidence. You prove to your own mind that you are in control, not your mood, not your excuses, not your circumstances. That kind of internal power is rare, but it's what creates unstoppable people. When others fall off track because they're tired or distracted, you keep going. When others quit because it's hard, you keep pushing. That mindset is a weapon. The truth is, discipline is freedom. It sounds harsh, but it sets you free. Free from regret, free from mediocrity, free from the pain of what could have been. You may not enjoy the moment of sacrifice, but you will always enjoy the reward. You'll enjoy the results that come from showing up every day. You'll enjoy the pride that comes from knowing you earned everything you have. While others are stuck in the cycle of starting and stopping, you'll be moving forward, steadily, powerfully. It's easy to get caught in the trap of waiting for motivation, to scroll through videos, quotes, or music hoping for that one thing to light a fire under you. But what if it never comes? What if no one says the right words? What if the day never feels right? Then what? Will you do nothing? Will you give up on your goals because the emotional high isn't there? That's why discipline is so essential. Because it doesn't depend on external triggers. It comes from within. It's a decision to honor your commitment, no matter how you feel. Discipline is also what allows you to keep your goals in sight, even when distractions are everywhere. The world is full of noise, temptations, and easy ways out. Social media, entertainment, comfort, they all offer instant pleasure. But discipline teaches you to say no. It teaches you to choose what matters over what feels good right now. It teaches you to play the long game, because the real rewards take time. They take sacrifice, and they require a level of focus that can only come from a disciplined mind. And let's be honest, discipline is hard. It's not glamorous. It's waking up early when you're exhausted. It's going to the gym when you'd rather stay in bed. It's studying when your friends are out having fun. It's working on your dream after a long day at your job. But every time you do it, you get stronger. You build mental toughness. You create habits that turn into a lifestyle. And eventually, discipline becomes part of your identity. You no longer have to force yourself, you just do it. Because it's who you are now. You become someone who follows through. Someone who shows up. Someone who gets it done. And once you reach that level, you become unstoppable. There's no secret formula. There's no perfect timing. There's only discipline. The choice to act, again and again, regardless of how you feel. That's what creates champions. That's what builds legacies. That's what turns dreams into reality. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel motivated. Don't wait for the stars to align. Make the decision today and every day after to do the work, to push through, to honor your goals even when it's hard. Because at the end of the day, discipline will take you where motivation never could. People talk a lot. They talk about what they're going to do, what they dream of, what they could become if only the timing was right, or the support was there. But talk is cheap. It's easy to say the right things, to make promises, to craft a perfect picture of ambition and goals. What truly matters is what gets done. In the end, no one will remember what you said you would do. They will remember what you actually did. And that's why results speak louder than anything else. You don't need to convince people with words. You don't need to beg for belief or explain your struggles. Just work. Just build. Let your results do the talking. People may doubt your vision. They might mock your goals or ignore your journey. And at times, that can sting. You want to be understood. You want people to see your effort. But the truth is, the world doesn't owe you understanding. It only reacts to impact. If you want respect, if you want recognition, you have to earn it. And that means delivering results, tangible proof that you're not just dreaming, but doing. There's nothing more powerful than quiet progress. You don't have to announce every move. You don't need to update the world on every step of the grind. Sometimes the best work is done in silence, behind closed doors, away from distractions. While everyone else is busy talking, you're building. While others are looking for applause, you're focused on execution. And eventually your results become undeniable. They become the evidence of your discipline, your sacrifice, and your consistency. In a world that glorifies the spotlight, it's tempting to chase validation. But validation is a trap. If you build your identity on being praised, you'll fall apart when the applause stops. If you live for attention, you'll lose your drive the moment no one is watching. But when you shift your focus from being seen to being effective, everything changes. You start to value substance over show. You prioritize action over appearance. You learn to be driven by purpose, not popularity. Results are the great equalizer. They don't care about your background, your connections, or your excuses. They are the outcome of choices, habits, and effort. You can be doubted, underestimated, even ridiculed. But if you stay consistent, the results will eventually silence the noise. People might not respect your words, but they will respect your wins. That's the power of results. They create a reputation that no one can ignore. And it's not about flashy success or overnight achievements. Real results are often quiet at first. They grow slowly, like roots beneath the ground. You won't always see immediate progress. You won't always feel like it's working. But if you stay focused, the momentum builds. One step becomes two. One day becomes a week. One small victory leads to another. And before long, you've built something real, something solid that no one can take away from you. The process is what brings the results, and the process isn't always pretty. It's early mornings, late nights, and doing the hard stuff when no one else is. It's putting in reps, day after day, when motivation fades and fatigue sets in. It's staying locked in on your mission while others are distracted. That's how the results come, not from one big leap, but from thousands of small, consistent efforts that stack up over time. When you live this way, you stop caring about opinions. You stop needing to explain yourself. You no longer waste energy trying to convince people of your worth. You just show them. You show them through your discipline, your performance, your growth. Every time you stay true to your path and deliver on what you set out to do, you earn a level of self-respect that no external validation can match. This is especially important in a world filled with noise. Everyone is branding themselves, selling their dreams, curating their image. But results cut through all of that. They're real. They're earned. You can't fake effort. You can't fake improvement. Eventually, the truth shows. Either you're putting in the work or you're not. Either you're making progress or you're pretending. Results expose the difference. Let your results speak, not because you want praise, but because you want proof. Proof that the hard days were worth it, that the struggle had purpose, that your grind is paying off. Let your achievements become your voice. Let your success be the story. You don't have to shout about your journey when your results make it impossible to ignore. And here's the beautiful part: when you're focused on results, your mindset shifts. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop overanalyzing every decision. You gain clarity because your aim is simple: to execute, to perform, to improve. The noise fades, the doubt quiets, and all that's left is progress. Eventually, the same people who questioned you, who overlooked you, who didn't take you seriously, they'll be the ones asking how you did it. They'll want to know your secret, but it won't be a secret. It'll be exactly what you've been doing all along. Working in silence, showing up every day, and letting the results speak louder than your words ever could. So stop over-explaining. Stop begging for attention. Stop trying to prove yourself with promises. Just build, just act, just commit. Because when you truly focus on results, nothing else matters. And once your results show, they won't just speak, they'll shout. They'll tell the story of your discipline, your vision, and your refusal to quit. And that story will echo louder than anything you ever could have said. The most important competition you will ever face is not with anyone else, it's with yourself. Too often people get caught up comparing their journey to others. They look around and see someone achieving more, moving faster, getting more recognition, and they start to doubt their own progress. But that mindset is toxic. It takes your focus away from the only person you're truly responsible for beating, the version of you from yesterday. If you want to grow, if you want to win, then your mission every day must be to outwork yourself. Not your neighbor, not your friend, not your competition. It starts with honesty. You have to look at yourself with complete truth. Are you putting in the work you said you would? Are you being consistent? Are you pushing when it's uncomfortable? Or are you backing off when it gets tough? Growth doesn't come from pretending. It comes from daily self-assessment and a willingness to demand more from yourself. Not out of self-hate or pressure, but out of deep respect for your own potential. You owe it to yourself to rise. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. Outworking your old self means refusing to stay stuck in yesterday's effort, mindset, or habits. What got you here won't get you there. Each level of your life will require a new level of commitment, and that means outgrowing your comfort zone. It means saying no to the easy path. It means setting higher standards for how you think, how you move, how you execute. You're not competing to be better than anyone else. You're fighting to be better than the person who was okay with average. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice: repeat the same patterns or break through them. The decision is yours. You can either keep living at the same pace or push harder. You can keep making excuses, or you can raise your bar. That's how champions are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the quiet decision to be better than you were yesterday. To lift heavier, to focus longer, to be more disciplined, more focused, more relentless. Some people avoid this mindset because it's hard. It requires you to constantly improve. It demands effort, discipline, and sacrifice. It requires you to acknowledge where you've been lazy, distracted, or inconsistent. But that's the only path to true greatness. Anyone can coast. Anyone can stay the same. But to outwork your old self day after day, that's rare. That's powerful. That's what turns potential into progress, and effort into excellence. You won't always feel like it. Some days you'll be tired. Some days your old habits will pull you back. Your mind will try to convince you that you've done enough, that it's okay to take it easy, that you deserve to rest. But deep down you know when you're giving your all, and when you're not. And when you choose to go the extra mile, when you choose to ignore that voice of comfort and keep grinding anyway, that's when you win. That's when you start stacking small victories that build into something massive. You have to understand that this journey is not about speed. It's about direction. As long as you're moving forward, you're winning. Even if the progress is slow, even if no one notices, even if you have setbacks, the key is to keep going, to never settle, to never let your past effort convince you to slow down. Yesterday's work is done. Yesterday's growth is over. The only thing that matters now is what you're doing today to be better than who you were. This mindset isn't just about working harder physically. It's about evolving mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's about becoming a better thinker, a better decision maker, a better human being. It's about being more patient, more focused, more driven. Outworking your old self means improving your reactions, your habits, your mindset. It means becoming someone who doesn't just talk about change, but lives it daily. Let go of the need to be the best in the room. Be the best version of you in the room. If someone else is ahead of you, let that inspire you, not intimidate you. Your only true competition is who you were yesterday. Beat that version of you, and you've already won. Do that for a week, and you'll feel the momentum. Do it for a month, and you'll see transformation. Do it for a year, and you'll be unrecognizable. Don't waste your energy worrying about who's doing what. Stay in your lane. Keep your eyes on your own progress. The journey is personal. No one else has your exact path, your exact lessons, your exact challenges. Comparing yourself to others only distracts you from your mission. Every second spent looking at someone else is a second you could use to work on yourself. Be so focused on improving that you don't have time to look sideways. The real pride doesn't come from beating someone else. It comes from knowing that you gave everything you had. It comes from laying your head on the pillow at night, with no regrets, knowing that you didn't waste your day. That's a kind of peace that can't be bought. That's a kind of pride that only comes from daily, disciplined effort to become better than you were. This is how champions live. They don't just train to win. They train to grow. They don't just compete to defeat others. They compete to conquer themselves. They wake up every day with the goal of being stronger, faster, sharper, more focused than they were yesterday. And over time, that discipline becomes identity. That hunger becomes lifestyle. So if you want to rise, don't worry about proving anything to the world. Prove it to yourself. Show yourself what you're made of. Show yourself that you won't settle, that you won't back down, that you won't live the same year 80 times and call it a life. Break your limits. Raise your standards. Challenge your old self. And leave that version of you behind. Because once you decide that your only competition is the person you were yesterday, nothing can stop you from becoming who you were meant to be.